The ship was silent, except for the low hum of its engines. Emily drifted down the corridor, her fingers brushing the cool metal wall as if to steady herself. She had passed every test: simulations, survival drills, combat trials, but none of them weighed on her like this final step. Everyone whispered about it at the academy, the last trial. Some called it a ritual. Others said it was a breaking point. No one ever spoke about it in detail. They only came back changed, harder, sharper. Emily's reflection stared back at her from a passing viewport. Her long, dark hair floated around her face in the weightless air, curling like smoke. It made her look softer than she felt inside, a softness that didn't belong in the world she was entering. Her heart raced as the doors ahead slid open. Commander Rian stood waiting. For a moment, she hesitated. He was steady as always, posture perfect, uniform sharp. But it wasn't the medals on his chest or the authority in his voice that caught her. It was his eyes, calm, gentle, far too kind for a man who had lived through battles among the stars. "Cadet Emily," he said, his voice low but certain. She swallowed, her throat dry. "Thank you, Commander." He stepped closer, and the quiet hum of the ship seemed to fade. His presence filled the room, strong and grounding. "You know what comes next." Her stomach tightened. She had known, but hearing him say it made it real. To wear the Helios-class helmet and join with the ship, there could be no barriers, no interference, even something as simple as hair. Her hair floated between them, drifting upward in long, weightless waves. She felt exposed under his gaze, like he was already imagining her without it. "You don't have to," Rian said quietly. His voice softened, almost like he didn't want the others to hear. "No one would fault you if you walked away."
Emily met his eyes. He meant it. He would let her go. But beneath the softness, she saw something else. Belief in her, pride in her, and maybe something deeper. Something he wasn't allowed to say. Her lips parted, and for a moment she wanted to say the words she saw in his eyes, but instead she breathed, steady and clear. "I'm ready." The preparation chamber was colder than she expected. The anti-gravity chair hovered in the center, glowing faintly with restraint fields. Around it stood 3 attendants, hybrids, part human, part machine. Their faces were calm, almost expressionless, but faint lines of light pulsed under their skin. Their arms shimmered with chrome and hidden tools. Emily lowered herself into the chair. Straps extended automatically, wrapping around her wrists, ankles, and waist. Not harsh, but firm. Her hair floated upward like a veil, brushing her cheeks as if clinging to her. One hybrid attendant stepped closer, its voice smooth. Neural interface preparation. Step 1, full hair removal. The words sank into her chest. The attendant drifted behind her, chrome fingers running through her hair. They parted it into thick sections, clipping them into floating bunches. Each section drifted gently, held in place by magnetic clips. Another hybrid extended its arm. A glowing tool emerged, sleek, humming with a steady blue light. The sound filled the chamber, sharp but controlled. Rian moved closer, stopping just at her side, close enough that she could feel the warmth of him even through the cold. The attendant began at the top. The glowing blade slid across her crown. A thick lock separated, floating free. Emily gasped. It didn't hurt, but watching her hair drift away was like watching part of herself vanish. The lock curled and spun in the weightless air, a dark ribbon twisting slowly before clinging to the chamber wall. First cut complete, the hybrid intoned. Emily's pulse hammered in her throat. Another section lifted. The blade hummed again, and another heavy wave floated away. Strand by strand, her hair began to disappear. She gripped the chair arms tighter. "Steady," Rian whispered. His voice was soft, meant only for her. "I'm here." Her breath caught. She wanted to lean into him, but she stayed still. The attendants worked methodically. They moved around her crown, then down her left side. One hybrid lifted the thick waves that spilled over her shoulder, holding them clear. The other pressed the glowing blade close. A clean line appeared above her ear. The heavy lock floated away in silence, curling toward the ceiling. Left side complete. Cool air brushed her newly exposed skin. She shivered. They moved to her right. Again, the hum of the blade, the sight of her long waves floating free. A strand brushed her cheek before drifting off. Rian's hand lifted, as if he almost wanted to catch it, but instead, he lowered it, curling his fist at his side. Right side complete. Her scalp tingled. A thick curtain of hair down her back was all that remained. The attendant gathered it in one smooth motion. Emily felt the weight tug against her scalp, just for a moment. Then the blade slid through and the long sheet detached. It floated upward as one, twisting like a banner in a current. Emily's breath caught again. Her back felt bare, exposed to the chamber's cold air. Back section complete. Emily's reflection in the polished wall showed a girl half-shorn, tufts uneven, pieces floating around her like ghosts. She hardly recognized herself. "You're still you," Rian whispered. His hand brushed lightly against her arm, just for a second, enough to steady her, enough to make her chest ache. The attendants changed tools. These glowed brighter, finer. Proceeding with close shave. They began at her crown again. The blade hummed against her scalp, stripping the uneven tufts to nothing. Emily shivered. Each pass left her scalp smooth and cool. The hybrids moved in rhythm, one shaving, one brushing loose stubble away with a warm cloth. Crown complete. Right side complete. Left side complete. The final strokes moved down her neck. The hum pressed against her skin, then lifted away. One last wipe cleared the stray hairs. Her reflection stared back, bare, smooth, strong. "It's all gone," she whispered. Ryan's hand pressed gently against her shoulder. This time, he didn't pull away. His voice was low, steady, but softer than she had ever heard it. "And you've never looked more beautiful." Emily's breath hitched. For a moment, the chamber, the hybrids, the ship, all of it faded. There was only him, only them. "Final polish," one attendant announced. A ring of white light hovered above her scalp, sweeping slowly over her head. A faint warmth followed its path, sealing the skin perfectly smooth. When it was done, her scalp gleamed under the chamber lights. The straps released. Emily floated free. She reached up, fingers trembling as they touched her bare scalp. Smooth, new. The air kissed her skin in ways she had never felt. She was different. Above her, the helmet descended, sleek, black,
silver lines glowing faintly, waiting. Ryan's voice was steady, but his eyes betrayed something deeper. This is yours now. Emily lifted her chin. No more hesitation. The helmet lowered over her head. It sealed perfectly against her scalp, connecting instantly. Her mind expanded outward. She felt the ship's heartbeat, the stars beyond, the infinite silence of space. Her reflection in the visor showed her new self, reborn, strong, unhidden. She turned. Rian was still there, watching her, pride in his eyes, and something else, something unspoken, something she felt too. The ship hummed, the galaxy waited, and Emily, transformed, was ready.